Here I am in a cabin in the woods. I feel like Henry David for a while. It's not in the woods, but it's a cabin. Everything in Canada has gone up in prices. Might as well get a cabin somewhere away from the cities so I can chunk wood and get a keyboard in here, piano. But here I am reading books on spirituality and getting ahead in life. And I've tried the energy business and healing, and it doesn't seem to kick in Canada. We got a lot of dogma. And, Don Tolman goes to Australia. Oh, I just lose you here. He goes to Australia and he talks about nutrition as being the cornerstone of mental health. Oh, hell, they say it isn't. They're saying a lot of things like red meat's good for you. Studies. I wonder who writes studies, cats and dogs. It's silly. Our healthcare racket, and I was talking to a singer-songwriter one day, and I think singer-songwriters got more insight than people. He said, "What is this?" I said, "What?" And he says, "The fear-based healthcare." I guess I'm not a big fan of every industry out there. I'm a fan of high tech and innovation, and it has an intrinsic bit of love to it, Makes the world a bit better place. I know there's a lot of good corporations, so I can't denounce capitalism. I can't denounce it. It's good, especially the high tech industries. Some of these old things can really die. Like oil. Yeah, I'm not an oil man. I just don't see Justin Trudeau's philosophy. I like the tiny house solution. I saw a house running on coffee grounds. Boy, oh boy, I'd keep that thing right heated. But all the time, all I do is sit here, read books. I had a lot of time to myself in a little cabin. Read books, make notes, meditate, pick guitar. And that's another thing. A gentleman just came in. People don't read. I said we chunk information down. And, I was reading the New Yorker. Now, it was a long read. I've read, watch my guitar. I've read books that are really long. I don't know, it's an accomplishment to read a book. I read all of them, Steve Jobs. I had to read it. And I can't come up, they give me the synopsis of the story in 2 words. Well, it'd be nice. I think I could, but I have to read the whole book. And it was like the New Yorker. I read it. I was on gluten. I wanted to understand what is this gluten-free. And I had to read the whole article. It was a long read. And I don't know if people read the New Yorker, but I do. I read a lot of things that gravitate me, and then my intuition, it goes against what I know, and I just say what I've always known. It can't be true. That's a bunch of lies. Like meat is a toxic substance, red meat. Come on. And is it real meat? And I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for a long time. I'm considering vegan diet. I read the China study, but that's a different study. That's not done by, I don't know who's doing these studies. And they're getting in the paper, and they're confusing people. And I think it's causing more health concern than health. Like they come out, and I go into a restaurant, and the guy wants to buy a cookie. These are homemade cookies. They're baked. Is there a study on it? What do? Go up to the bar and ask the guys their study on it, man. I saw they had a joke. A bunch of buddies that are musicians. They made a film. Guy goes in the bar and he says, "Does gin have gluten?" And the bartender looks. I don't know what the heck it is now. You know, the Yukon, they were I saw on here on LinkedIn, they were labeling bottles of whiskey for carcinogens. You know, there's enough carcinogenic materials around us, like fossil fuel producing cars and methane, and, you know, we don't need to add any more and call it whiskey. Nobody can afford whiskey, so how can you be dying of it? You know, where's the consumption? It's the fossil fuel industry. So here I am, an opponent against, they come on there and I'm always blocking them, and they're not my friends. I don't buy into it. Fossil fuels in North America, when Australia just burned because of carbon, too much CO2. But this story gets spun around now, so, which my cousin worked for. He was a professor there. All the stories get spun. They can't even talk. You know, I'm not against the United States, especially NASA and real science, but, you know, science is science, but quantum reality, where did that go in medicine? Newtonian theory. So energy healing is quackery. And I was looking at his credentials. Let's talk about this guy. He's got a quack list. He's what do you call that? A skin specialist. That's all he does. But everything's quackery. Reiki's quackery. Well, I had a woman up in Belleville. She had everything cut out. She said it was and she didn't say it was quackery. She had 6 Reiki treatments, and her health came back. A social worker in Nova Scotia said the same thing out in Cape Breton. Reiki is working. Spiritual faith, healing, anything. I think it's because it's not void of God. Oh boy, I'm religious now. Well, Mahatma Gandhi saw a unity in everything. And what are we going to? We're going to nothing is unified. I see all religions as some sort of unity to it. And especially when it teaches love and higher intentions and faith of allowing things to be. That's why I like the Reiki systems. And I'm healthy since I've been a Reiki master. And my life's not rich, you know, right now. But I got wondering about being rich, and I started reading books on spirituality and abundance, and I think it's just focus and stay on the light side of things and have good intention for the world. Help people up as you do. Whatever you do and change, like I get riled when I see this stuff of defending things I don't believe in and I know are wrong. So I asked the oracle cards. I'm a metaphysicist. Into the mystic, like Van Morrison song. And it said, apply love. Apply love to your message. So if I rant, I'm not getting anywhere. If I say, oh, I'm fighting wars and bang my head against walls, but if I'm kind and I apply love to the world, maybe my music, I can get some message out there. For a better world, I worry about the children. Worry about them. I love children, and it'd be a nicer world. My friend in Brisbane, I really appreciate Nina Fitzgerald. Thank you, Nina, my angel of Aussie land down under. You're teaching love. And Jody's theory is right. The more love, the more love. I had that a guy attacking me, an old fella. I prayed for him. I didn't say anything. Oh, Greg, I'm so sorry. I'm being so mean. It was love. And when we step back from all this, somebody's attacking you, they got problems. And more love. And Joey was a cockatoo, and he was biting Nina's fingers, but she applied more love.